Today we're talking about chest training, optimal chest training through the bodyweight world, push-ups and dips and all that sort of thing, and hopefully busting apart some of the myths on how conventionally thought optimal chest training is actually for the birds. Here's what I'm talking about. This is what I used to look at for chest training. Okay, the arm is out like somewhere to the side and it pulls across and in. So I used to do the pec fly machines like crazy when I did bench presses like this, push-ups like this, because I thought it was the whole idea of this part of the arm goes out to the outside and then it pulls across, and that's what the pec does, is it pulls across, adduction. Even in the textbooks they say the pectoral is responsible for adduction of the humerus because it attaches here, so forth. So adduction, adduction, adduction. This is what I was doing all over the place. This is not optimal and it's going to set you up for injury. Here's a couple reasons why. When you come across, what you're doing is you're working with a very narrow band of tension within the pectoral. So this is where that whole idea of, like, you know, we got the middle pectorals for flat bench, then you go to incline bench for the upper pectorals, and decline bench for lower pectorals and stuff, because we're working on just a certain amount of the muscle that is optimally at work here. What this means is, and again, this is the fragmented muscle tension I talk about with the chain training. Fragmented muscle tension, it's kind of like a glass half empty, half full thing. It's like, well, it's really focusing on this part of the muscle, so that's why you need that exercise. The other way to look at it is, yeah, but it's not hitting the other two areas optimally. So focusing on a certain area of the muscle doesn't mean this is working harder. It means this is working less. Okay, so then you need another exercise for this and another exercise. You know, chest routines take forever kind of thing. It also, when the arm is out to the side in the martial arts, we always were learning, if you want to cause joint pain and stuff, you get the guy's arm out to the side. They got arm bars and twisting and locking and making them tap out and everything. This is joint problems when your arm is out here. If you want to protect yourself and you want optimal training, get everything in. You got your center line. The center line means muscle. The center line means power. The center line means joint safety. So we're over here, right? This is where you have to go if you want to progress your calisthenics, like with the convict conditioning program stuff, is everything's got to come in. Not just the hands, you know, I'm not talking like this. Get those elbows in. Super tight. I want your arms rubbing against the rib cage. I'm telling you know, my clients that I'm training, like, I don't want to see a crack of air between your arm and your torso when you're doing push-ups. I want to see that, like, get a rash in here from, like, doing too many push-ups because it's rubbing against it so much. What this does is a couple of things. Number one is it pulls everything in. Okay, so now your joints are a hell of a lot safer and more secure. So shoulder problems are not going to be much of an issue. Second of all, the pectorals, again, we're like, well, what about the adduction? When we're doing this, isn't this a tricep push-up? Yes, finally it's a tricep push-up. The problem with this, it's not a tricep push-up as it should be. And you're only going to be as strong as your weakest link. So if this is not getting your triceps nearly enough, it's going to hold everything back, including your chest training. So if you're here and you're like, oh, I feel it more in your triceps, it is a tricep push-up, but it's temporary, because remember, with chain training, when the weaker links get stronger, then everything else can get stronger. So right now, if you do closed push-ups like this and you feel it predominating your triceps are holding back your muscle engagement of your chest and your chest development. So stay on it. Keep it a tricep push-up. Your triceps will get stronger, then it won't be a tricep push-up anymore, and I guarantee your chest is going to be hitting harder. But here's the other thing. We're like, yeah, but the scientific textbooks, they're saying it's about adduction, you know, the pectorals. That's true, but the pectorals don't necessarily cause adduction through the push-up or dips and things. They maintain it. They maintain adduction. It's just like your hips with your legs. If you're doing pistol squats and stuff, they're preventing your hips from wobbling all over the place. Well, your pectorals, when you're doing push-ups like this, it's keeping this inwards. And as you do a push-up, your humerus goes from, you know, really low here, and it goes all the way up. So what ends up happening, it's like a zipper of tension. You have tension here, and it just goes whoop, right up to the top on every push-up. So you're filling the pectoral, the entire pectoral, no more of this upper-lower nonsense. We're talking the whole damn thing is just infused as long as you have the control of the adduction. With the close stuff, you may not feel it so much, but I guarantee you when you start doing the single arm stuff, your hands are here like the overlap push-up, major activation in your pectorals and your shoulders and your triceps, all of it working together as a chain, because the push-up is designed as a chest, shoulder, and tricep exercise, as well as core and everything else. So that's the ideal way to train your chest, is get everything in tight and close as possible, and play with flies and stuff like that. I like a set of flies as a finisher, but this shouldn't be your bread and butter. It's this. This is the ideal way to train your muscles. May take a little bit to get used to. Stay with it. Let me know if you have questions below. Share, like, and subscribe if you found this helpful. Be fit, live free.